So I'm walking, and at the end of my road there's this beautiful church. It's a pretty small church, but it looks beautiful when it's lit up. And it gets me thinking about churches and cathedrals a lot. And like the stonework of them, and the holes that are in the openings of the spires and the church walls, and what these actually are. And to me, the resonators, and I struggle to see anything other. These geometric holes that are just there, like they're just dripping in artistic design, man. And for what purpose? But when you think back, the church, this cocoon of this rock, this structure, this shape, probably once housed a big extravagant organ that would bellow its frequencies, that would rattle around this stone case and then make its way out of these holes that we know as windows. And we know them as windows because they've got windows in them now. But why? I mean, don't get me wrong, apart from the message that they depict, which also comes with its own layer of programming, because I'm not religious, but I respect all religion. If that's people's belief, then that's fine. But these windows are something that the artist who created them should be hugely proud of, because it's such a skill set to be able to piece together something like that. I know I couldn't do it. It's not my forte, but you've got to admire them. However, after appreciating the artist and the artwork and what many people probably travel the realm going to look at, we have to strip it back. Why are them windows there? Why are them resonators, them beautifully crafted pieces of art, the geometry, now not functioning as they're meant to function? Well, to me, it's about the removal of the organs. Now, once you remove them organs, the resonators are no longer needed, because that organ's frequency is no longer going to be penetrable. It's not going to do the job of what it's meant to do, because it's not there anymore. So my belief is these organs created such a frequency within these stone walls, and I'm looking at the church now, that it would bellow, it would vibrate, it would cause this frequency to leave these geometric holes and hold some kind of frequency about them that was potentially healing to the mind, potentially healing to the frequency of the water of the body. So the removal of the organs, the staining glass that now makes these resonators windows, gets me thinking about the removal of the organs in the human body, the consensual organ harvesting that we call surgery, the heightened belief that people have behind these heavenly looking white coats of those that are just misled and miseducated, but given stature and trust, again hidden behind a title, status and that white coat, by not being educated enough to educate the human family, those that they serve an oath to morally protect. And they believe they are. And that's the sad thing about it, is it's always medical. It's always the organ has to go, or the lymphatic associated organ has to go, or there's an issue with the organ that now needs medication for the rest of your life. And why is that? Because there's profit within the profit. I'm standing outside a church thinking about the missing organs and the stained glass being the issue of the body, the dis-ease of the body. So what does the stained glass now serve? It's covering up the resonance, it's covering up the ability for the energy inside to leave. So as people now congregate inside, creating their own energy, there's no escape from it. It houses an energy, installing further belief into the reason as to why we're there. So as I think about the stained glass windows, I think about the acidity inside. I think about the medical system just suppressing the issue inside. Telling people that detox symptoms are sickness and illness, which suppresses the issue inside, which makes the energy unable to escape, which then makes the organ not be able to resonate at its highest capacity. Like we've taken a few pipes away, the fuse has gone. I get all this just by looking at the church. But as we remove the organs, we must realise that we're removing the wind section from the perfect harmony, synchronised, bringing this symphony of resonance throughout the whole body. So if we remove the organs, we may as well remove the resonator, because you're not going to be resonating at the same frequency. In fact, it might only be synthetic medication that keeps these people alive, just like replacing these powerful organs with a keyboard or a piano. Just remember, each organ holds its own frequency, holds its own resonance, and they work together, they talk to each other. A lot of them are nestled in together. So the vibration and the frequency of the heart and the lungs will have a profound effect and ripple as the vena cava rattles and expands and twists and contracts, and the pancreas is feeding off that. The pancreas and the liver are feeding off that. The pancreas, the liver are feeding the stomach's frequency, and all this is a perfect harmony. It's the perfect harmony. But remove the organ, put in a stained glass window, and this beautiful building is the external depiction of a deceased, dying vessel. Thank you for listening.